year is 1993 and Hasbro has yet to give up on the Generation 2 line. Coming at you this time is Computron, also known as the Technobots. This entire band of awesomeness coming out of the space age just looks absolutely ridiculous in these colors. That it really does look like something that would have just popped right out of your Atari system way back in the day. Starting out with this group comes Lightspeed. Lightspeed's completely shed his entire red scheme and went with this real dark black. And decided to bring in some white wheels and a little bit of white guns and some white windows to just really make it pop. This aesthetic really works very well for him because it just stands out that he is not here to mess around. Lightspeed, after you go into his folding out transformation of easiness, really turns into a nice looking robot. Coming out of the darkness comes Nosecone. Nosecone's now gotten rid of the entire dark scheme and went with this lavender purple. With his gigantic gold nose, which would have been GPS nightmare for some people, it really does stand out as just being really cool. The paint scheme fits, and it does not take away from what he is. As soon as you get done folding this guy all out, it looks cool. Although he has a large nose cone still stuck to his back, he still screams awesome. Moving on to our next member is Strife. Strife is now gone with this really crazy green color, with this entire gold center that just seems like it would just crush and just fall apart in your hands, especially if it was GPS. But this green just makes this thing look really awesome. This looks like straight up something that would come out of an Atari game, especially during the 80s. But as you fold it out and turn it into its robot mode, although he still has the gigantic wings on the backs of his legs, it still doesn't deter from the coloration. Moving on to closer to our final members comes Afterburner. Afterburner literally looks like something that just popped out of the Tron movies. He's got this crazy screaming pink scheme going with the silver windows and the black highlights. This guy looks awesome. He's probably one of the coolest ones of the entire lot, and by far one of my favorite. Although he does have wheels stuck to his back, it really doesn't strike as kibble. Moving on to our final member of the group comes Scattershot. Scattershot still has his awesome Starship mode. Although the gimmicks were not robbed from this, they still are there. He has a lot of gold, a lot of black, and a little bit of silver. This thing just screams absolutely awesome in these colors. It literally looks like something that would have just popped right out of a Star Wars comic or something like that. As you go into folding him out to turn him into a robot, it's clear that there is a lot of detail involved with this thing. And once you get him into robot mode, he's just insanely awesome. He's got so much going on for him, it's just not even funny. Especially with that crazy green face he's got going on. It just really pops, especially out of the black scheme and the gold and the silver, just kind of just hovering all the way around him. When you get the entire group together though, it's absolutely clear that these guys do belong. Although it's odd that there's a really weird color scheme going on here, but that's what Generation 2 was about. It was all about the crazy colors and how they would meld together to make something awesome. And oh yes, Scattershot still has his third mode. Transforming him back into third mode is pretty easy. You're pretty much shoving him all the way back up into his entire Starship mode. Once he's done being put into starship mode, he's pretty much shoved over to one detent, and then this gigantic chest piece clicks onto the front. Once this thing's set up as a battery, a ground battery, a large cannon ground battery, this thing just shows you how awesome it really is. It really stands out nice with the rest of the group hanging around it to sit there and help him out. Also, this thing would look really sick with your Metroplexes. But you guys came here for the combining mode, so let's get on to that. It's very simple how we do this. Pretty much have to fold these guys back up, and then we plug in the fists, we plug in the feet. After that, it's peghead time. Yes, the knuckle biter has returned. Although this is still probably one of the most scariest things to do, it's still very satisfying, especially after you have finished putting this guy together. Once you've fully assembled him, and then armed him up with all his weapons, it's absolutely clear that this ensemble belongs together. Although all the details are just strictly pulled out from just crazy looking colors, this thing just screams completely awesome. Although the GPS would have been a complete nightmare of this thing, I still think this is probably one of my favorite. Standing him next to his original self, it's clear that those colors were meant to be. It's really, really awesome how everything kind of blends together and turns into this just awesome sea of coolness. But you guys tune in next time for some more cool Generation 2 style goodies. This has been Plasticon, and this has been yet another review. And this is me, signing off. Peace out, you guys.